Hi there, Guan. So we've got more essays from you. Let's get right into your essays. Let's see what you said. Okay, it's about green energy. There are two views you have to discuss. One is that green energy reduces cost and better for the environment, or is it a threat to energy security? Let's see how you answered this. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether green energy has a positive impact on the environment and, well, you don't want to say in cost, because how can you have a positive impact on cost reduction? So instead, let's change this, and let's say it has a positive effect on the environment. You could have said, and reduces cost as well. That would make sense, okay? Or, I think you're missing an if here. If it is considered a risk, not if it is considered, but if it is a risk to energy, because you just said that they're debating it. So what they're debating is not whether it is considered a risk, but whether it is a risk. I hope that makes sense. All right. Okay, so then this essay will consider both these views using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. All right, fine. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that green energy using natural resources such as sunlight, wind, or energy has less impact on the environment than fossil fuels. Don't forget your the in front of the environment. This is because these energies are renewable and naturally replenished with less pollutants. Okay, so fewer pollutants is what you want here because pollutants is countable. And I kind of feel, to be honest with you, like this is redundant because that's naturally replenished. I mean, it's kind of like a synonym for renewable. So, I don't know. I don't think that having both of these terms really adds something. I would have just used one. Okay, so, for example, empirical research by the UK government revealed that solar power is pollutant-free and causes no greenhouse gases emission. Okay, greenhouse, you could have said a couple of things. Causes no greenhouse gases to be emitted or no greenhouse gas emission. All right, both of those would be correct. Furthermore, it is inexpensive and I mean, here I wanted an adjective. I want something like plentiful enough to power everything from small handheld gadgets to entire neighborhoods. Therefore, it is abundantly clear that green energy is beneficial not only for the environment but also financially. All right, that's fine. That's nice. On the other hand, renewable energy has been widely criticized for being a threat to energy security. This is largely because most forms of renewable generation are intermittent and inconsistent, as they produce electricity only when the wind is blowing or the sun is shining, rather than when there is a demand for energy. That's lovely. I like that sentence very much. For example, a recent study, don't forget. Okay, remember, so it's recent research with no A, but with study you do need to put an article, okay? So, a recent study by Oxford University showed that the efficiency of the solar system drops by 50% during cloudy and rainy days. I don't think you mean the solar system, because remember, the solar system actually means all the planets like that revolve around the sun, and that's not what you mean. So you mean really solar energy here, okay? The efficiency of solar energy drops by 50%. Okay, so a few cloudy and rainy days can have a noticeable effect on the energy system. Therefore, it is possible to state beyond doubt that the incapacity of green energy infrastructure that the incapacity of green energy to meet growing I don't know what's going on here. Okay. It's a sentence that isn't really clear to me. I've had to now read it like 3 times. You're missing a word here, and then I don't understand what these words together mean. So this is a sentence that needs to be revised. But on the other hand, I mean, on the whole, it was a nice paragraph. There was a lot of stuff I liked about it. So from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that green energy green energy. I wouldn't have said advocate here or advocate. I don't know if you want the verb. I don't know if you want the noun. So I'm a little confused. I firmly believe that green energy is environmentally friendly and cost-saving. It is predicted that greater measures will be taken by energy technologies in reducing the risk to security of supply. So let's see. I think I've said this before. However, it really clearly asks you to give both views and you give your opinion. You've given your views. You've given rather both views, and that's fine. Unfortunately, you only told us what your opinion is at the very end of the essay. And if you'll notice in the band descriptors, it says that your position is clear throughout the essay. For me, it was not clear throughout. I had to wait until the conclusion to find out where you stand on this. So that is somewhat of a problem. The other problem is that you wrote the side that you support first. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to write the side that you don't support first, and then towards the bottom, towards the conclusion, that's when you write the side that you do support. All right, so both of these errors would actually affect your task response and your coherence and cohesion score. So please do keep that in mind, okay? So let's take a look now. Where's your second essay? Here it is. All right, it's the island. The map illustrates the changes that have occurred in an island over a period of time. No S. The most noticeable changes in the development of green areas with several major infrastructure projects. Now this is a little misleading because when you say it's the development of green areas, it's as if they've developed green areas, but they've made green areas, but they in fact have not. What they have done instead is they have developed a lot of they've actually removed a lot of the trees that were there and replaced them with numerous forms of accommodation in order to become a tourist destination. I mean, to me, that would be a far more accurate overview here. All right, so moving on. To begin with, there were houses built on both sides of the island. For accommodation. In addition to this, a mall can be seen in the middle of the island. In the middle of the island. Next to the mall, there is what's going on here? Okay, let me just keep going. I'll tell you my comments. There was a double-story restaurant. A hotel has been built along the seaside and located not from the mall. All right, now there's a problem here. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. You have not told me anything about the before at all. I mean, so far all you've told me about, this was built, that was built, and that was built. So what am I supposed to assume was there before? What I would really like you to do when you write this is basically just say that in the before image, we can see that there was absolutely no human presence on the island. There were trees scattered on both the east and the west coast, as well as in the central part of the island. Other than that, there was nothing. In the after photo, we can see that human presence is very clear because many structures, including accommodation and a pier and roads and footpaths, have appeared. Okay, and then you can go into details of what was built. So this is how I would really like to see this this map written, okay? But right now it looks like you have not mentioned this at all, so that would be a really big problem for your task achievement here, because you're missing one of the images, okay? Alrighty, so hang on one other second. Where did it say that it's a mall? I know you referred to it as a mall, but I don't know. Maybe there's another version which says, but okay, that's fine. So, there has also been changes to the transportation mode in the island. A pier has been built over the sea to connect the land. Okay, it's a little awkward. A pier has been built. Where's the pier? Okay. A pier has been built in order to allow access to the sea, essentially. Okay. From the pier, people can travel by vehicles along the vehicle track to reach the mall, hotel, or restaurant. A footpath can be seen along the residential areas. Besides, there was a lake on the other end of the island, which was next to residential houses. Okay. So, there are a few things that I want to say here. Number one, you dealt with the houses in a very kind of brief way. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted, to know that on the west side of the island, we can see 6 new homes built. In the center, we see, you called it the mall, the restaurant, and the hotel. And then further east of that was a circular development of housing, okay, created. And all of this is connected both by roads and by vehicle tracks and by footpaths. Okay. Now, the other problem that I have in this task 1 is your tenses. They're pretty much all over the place because you have were, was, something can be seen, has been built. So you've got this like combination of past tense and then present tense and then present perfect. And like, look at this here. Here you wrote, people can travel by vehicles, but it's a footpath can be seen. There was a lake, there has been, so it's like there's no consistency in the tenses you're using. All right, and that's a problem. So those are some of the major issues with this particular task. And that's pretty much it. So what you need to do now is you need to correct these essays. And actually, this is your last essay correction with us. I don't know what your plans are. I don't know when you plan to take the IELTS, but I really would like to continue helping you with feedback for your writing. Okay, I think that you can still benefit from it. Assuming you have some time, I would really encourage you to continue more essay corrections, so look into it, please. Let's work together to help you meet your IELTS goals. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope I get to see more of your essays, so good luck with everything.